This is the pool system overview. So in order to turn on the spa to heat it, you come over here and turn this input valve to spa. The return valve's always set to spa. Here it's always pointed to spa, and that causes the filter to always be filtering. This is the input, so it's either going to be coming in from the pool or coming in from the spa, and the flow goes in whichever direction it's coming from. So in order to actually heat the spa, the pump has to be running. So to turn on the pump, over here there's a timer switch and a timer switch and an electrical switch. So the timer switch, you can turn it on manually by flipping this red, and if it's on, you can use this switch to turn it off and on as well. The timer is set for about 3 hours every day during the time the sun's the highest in the sky, because that makes the best use of the solar system, and you want to have that pump running and circulating the water about 2 to 3 hours a day. Now that the pump's on, it's circulating and recirculating in just the spa because of the valve being on. From and to spa. From and to the spa. On the heater, there's a switch and a thermostat. All you need to do is flip on the thermostat's currently, turn it up to all the way pretty much, and turn on the switch, and in just a minute, because the spa is on, or the pump circulating, you'll hear the fire come on, and you can hold your hand over here and you'll start to feel the heat from the exhaust. Don't touch this during use because this is very hot. So right now the fire's running, blowing out heat, exhaust, and make sure not to set anything on top of that or else it will be melted. This has a brass manifold, which is really nice. They don't make them like that anymore. Those last a long time. The newer ones you have to replace more often. But now that it's on, it's blowing pretty hot. The exhaust is blowing in my face, and it's recirculating. The jacuzzi will be heating up, and the jets will be on. Over here, you'll notice also about the pump, or under the filter. If the filter is dirty, then the jets will be weak. So this filter needs to be cleaned like once every 90 to 120 days or so. It's a 6-pound DE filter, and it has a little so this is a pressure gauge. It's kind of hard to see that, but the pressure is around, should be between 20 to 22 pounds. Once it gets up to about 25 pounds, then that means that the filter is dirty, and you'll notice degradation in the jets. They won't be as strong, so something to be aware of. We usually just use this little hose attached to the filter. Your pool guys should know all about this, but take this hose. This is your bypass valve. When you pull this valve up, and open the release valve at the top, you heard the air come out of there. That will allow the bypass to go. And we actually take that hose and run it all the way down past the end of the fence there, and drain out the filter. And then you can take out the filter grids. There's 8 grids that are plastic and cloth inside this filter that need to be cleaned off of algae and DE. So you take those out, take them down to the end of the run there, lean them up against the fence, spray them off, bring them back, put them back in, and then you fill up the DE over by the pool flapper system, and that loads the DE grids back up and is ready for another 3 or 4 months worth of filtering. We usually put about anywhere from, I don't know, maybe 2 red Solo cups of chlorine a week or something like that. And the chlorine's a sodium dichlor granule system or set. So this sodium dichlor here has a little scooper in there. If you have a red Solo cup, you could fill it up, toss a couple of those in there, or with these scoops you probably need about, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them, and just toss them in. But yeah, if you have a pool guy, this is what he'll do too. And you know, the sweeper will get most of things, but the stairs and this wall over here that has a little bit of shade on it tend to need to be manually swept once a week. Otherwise you'll start to build up algae. It's not a big deal, but something to know. So this will be hot here in about 30 minutes or so, maybe 30-40 minutes. And once it's nice temperature, just go over there and turn off the heater and it'll stay hot for a long time. Another thing to know about when you're done with the spa, you want to run the pump with cool water for a little while longer. So you just leave the pump on, and I usually set the timer, set this thing to turn off. You pull out, twist, drop, and the timer, this will turn it off as soon as this is going to run clockwise. As soon as this little second turn off switch hits, it'll turn off. So you want to run cool water after the jacuzzi's done, just to cool off the heater. Flip this switch back to pool, it'll start running the cold water into the heater and through the filter. And again, the filter, the pump system, you want it always going through the heater and filter. So it'll come out of the pool, fill into the spa, and then overflow the spa waterfall into the pool again. And that keeps both the pool and the spa clean. Last thing to know, the light switch is right over here next to the fill valve. So water tends to evaporate anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch a day in the hot summer. So maybe once a week or so, you run this for about 20 minutes to fill up. You just turn that on and run it for about 15 or 20 minutes to fill up the pool from the water that's evaporated. And you'll notice we usually try and keep the water between the on the upper set of tiles. So you'll notice right over here, where kind of right about there, there's a overflow tube. You want to turn off the water before it gets up to that level. There's been a few times where we've forgotten and filled the pool all the way to the top, and that'll happen. But you know, that's why you just set a timer for about 15 minutes and you'll be good. And then come back and turn off the water when you're done filling. So we do that once a week or so. You know, if it gets too low, then the air will fill up in the filter and it will stop filtering. Won't be any water. You can reprime it by filling the water back up and then turning on the pump and opening this valve, which will spray water out once it's full. open this valve, and the air will release. The pump will start to fill up the filter. And once it's up to the top, then it'll just let water out. So you just twist it counterclockwise to open and clockwise to close it. And that's a pool system. So I'm gonna leave this on so we can do some jacuzzi tonight. And again, this little flip, you can manually flip it off there. So once again, you can hear it. As soon as the filter turns off, the gas turns off too. Gas is off. As soon as you turn the filter back on, or the pump back on, this one will fire and the fire turned on.